praises. Brother, how you doing, man? And did you know you're Israel? You do know you're Israel? Give me Leviticus 21 and 5.
I've been following you, brother.
Okay, all right, sis. Hey, you see the back of that? That's where we're at, on the back of that flyer, all right?
Okay.
Check us out. So you said you know you're Israel, right, brother? You follow us? All right, watch this. Tell me if you heard this before. Read.
Leviticus chapter 21, verse 5. They shall not make baldness upon their head, neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard, nor make any cuttings in their flesh.
Explain that. Start from the top again.
Leviticus chapter 21, verse 5. They shall not make baldness upon their head.
God says we're not supposed to make baldness upon our head, meaning what? We can't take a razor and shave our head. Now we can cut it down low, but we can't take a razor to our head. But that's a custom that we picked up when we were in the land of Egypt, in bondage. Just like some of the customs that we take here in America now, when we celebrate Christmas, Easter, all these other abominable holidays, the same thing we did when we was in Egypt. So that was one of the customs that we picked up, and that's shaving our heads bald. Scriptures also shaved off all of their beards. In fact, anywhere there was hair, they shaved it off. Again, we were in slavery to the Egyptians. We picked up those customs. God says we're not supposed to shave our head bald, neither are we to shave our beards bald. But watch this, read.
Nor make any cuttings in their flesh.
When it says no cuttings in their flesh, what is that? Tattoos, absolutely. So we're not supposed to do those things. Now, how long you said you've been watching us?
About 6 months.
For about 6 months. Do you live here in Jacksonville?
Yeah, I live here. The brother's in out of Orlando.
Oh, the Orlando camp.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah. So we're all part of, we're IUIC, we're purple, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're
When I
all,
was coming down the road, I see.
okay, now watch this. Give me Deuteronomy 10 and 12. Now, you know that you're Israel. You've been knowing now for about 6 months, all right? When you get Deuteronomy 10 and 12, then I want you to give me Zephaniah 2 and 1, all right? Watch this, brother, read.
Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. And now Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee?
So most of us say, you know what, as long as I believe, I'm good. But God says there's something that's required of you. Read.
But to fear the Lord thy God.
You know how to fear God? How do you fear God? Did you notice the next, whenever you say yeah to something, I'm going to give you a follow-up question.
Follow his word.
Follow his word, okay. Okay, you can fear him that way, but this is how we truly fear God. Watch this, read. Psalms 119, 120. Read.
Psalms chapter 119, verse 120. My flesh trembleth for fear of thee, and I am afraid of thy judgments.
Because the Bible says, for the wages of sin is death. David is saying he fears God's judgments. Why? Because death soon follows. Go back. That's how we fear God. We fear his judgments for what? Breaking his commandments. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. And now Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee?
Let's keep the thought. You said that you know that you're Israel. Read.
But to fear the Lord thy God.
We are afraid of his judgments. Read.
To walk in all his ways.
Read.
And to love him.
To love God. We love God by keeping his commandments. 1 John 5 and 3. Read.
And to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart.
When it says all thy heart and mind is synonymous. So it's talking about your mind. Read.
And with all thy soul. To keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good.
For thy good. Zephaniah 2 and 1. Now this is what you now have to do because you live in Jacksonville. You've been following us for 6 months. You know that you're Israel. We've just established what does it mean to follow God. Watch this. Read.
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1.
Come on.
Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
God is telling the Israelites, all 12 tribes, to gather together. O nation not desired. The other nations don't care for us. They can care less who we are. All right, give me Hebrew. Yeah, 10 through 25. You got that? Read that.
Hebrews chapter 10, verse 25. Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together.
Now, you may not have known we had a school here, but now I'm telling you, God says, forsake not the assembly of ourselves together. To assemble means to gather, right? Read.
As the manner of some is.
So, most of our people don't like to gather. They like to do their own thing. Read.
But exhorting one another.
How do we exhort one another? Hey, if you're struggling with something, guess what? Chances are there's a brother at the school that has struggled with the same thing and has overcome that. So he can help you overcome that. Read.
And so much more. So much as the more as you see that day approaching.
Christ is coming back soon, brother. We don't have time to be playing around. We don't have time to play around. Give me Psalms 119:59. It is important now that you do these things. Why? Because, as I just said, the Bible just said that time is getting near for Christ to his soon return. Read.
Psalms 119, verse 59. I thought on my ways.
So now you have to examine yourself and think about, what am I doing that's breaking? What laws am I breaking? And what must I do to come back to keeping God's laws? Read.
And turn my feet unto thy testimonies. I made haste.
You did what?
I made haste.
To make haste means to hurry up. Read.
And delay not.
Don't be playing around putting it off till tomorrow. Read.
To keep thy commandments. The bands of the wicked have robbed me.
So the bands of God, of the wickedness has robbed us, meaning what was robbed? The commandments. We don't know God's commandments. You understand that? We were robbed from God's laws, statutes, and commandments. Now, just in case you did say that you love God, don't let this be you. 1 John 2 and 3. Don't let what we're about to read be you. Watch this. Because a lot of our people say that they know they're Israel. Read.
1 John chapter 2, verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments.
Notice it says we know that we know God when we keep his commandments. You don't have that same testimony. Why? Because you're breaking God's commandments. Read.
He that saith, I know him.
A man or woman that says that I know God
and keepeth not his commandments.
And don't keep his commandments.
Is a liar.
Is a what?
Is a liar.
Is a what?
Is a liar.
Well, all you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that like to say that you know God and you're not keeping his commandments, God declares that you're a liar and the truth is not in you. Understand that.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.